Today, I'm harvesting some fresh chives from the field. I'm making pan-fried eggplant for my mother. She's completely blind. This is my home, a little village in eastern China. Look around, every doorstep here is still framed by spring couplets. Looking at this faded red paper, it hits me how fast time flies. Right across from my house is my little vegetable garden. And these rusty iron cages you see? They're from back when I used to raise foxes. Back then, I was young, bursting with energy, and determined to build a better life with my own two hands. But in the blink of an eye, I've turned 55 this year. Now, these cages just sit here in the wind, like an old friend who walked with me through the first half of my life. My name is Weiwei. Nowadays, tending to this little vegetable garden has actually become the most peaceful, healing part of my day. Alright, here we are at the garden. Time to grab the sickle. Actually, I already came out here at dawn to cut some chives. But my mind was on other things, and I didn't eyeball the amount quite right. Now that I look at it, it's not enough. But hey, isn't that just like life? We're always dropping the ball somewhere. That's okay. If you find you're a little short, you just come back and harvest a bit more. Now, I need to head back and grab a pair of shears to clip the eggplants. Though this garden isn't big, I've kept it pretty well organized, with all kinds of vegetables growing beautifully in their own spaces. Looking at all this heavy produce hanging from the branches, it just gives me this deep, satisfying feeling of a bountiful harvest. Alright, we've got our main ingredients ready for today. Let's head home and get started on lunch. Planting seasonal vegetables in the garden every day, and watching them go from tiny sprouts breaking through the soil to lush, vibrant greens, it gives me a sense of peace that's hard to put into words. Harvesting them and turning them into warm, home-cooked meals for my family, and seeing everyone eat with a smile, that's what makes me happiest. Vegetables you grow yourself are completely organic and pesticide-free. It just gives you peace of mind. To be honest, I truly love this slow, leisurely, even slightly clumsy pace of life. Toss chives straight into the pan. You have to be patient, cleaning them one by one. Mixed in there, you'll always find some dried up weeds. If you don't get rid of them, they won't just ruin the texture. They'll spoil the mindfulness of the whole dish. Actually, living life is a lot like cleaning chives. You have to patiently weed out the worries and distractions, leaving behind only what is pure, simple, and true. Pouring in some fresh water, I watch the chives open up in the pool, their green color becoming strikingly vibrant. I make sure to wash the chives a few more times. Dirt loves to hide in the creases of the leaves, so you have to be thorough. I'm at it, I'll also give the knife and chopping board a quick wash before getting to work. Next, I chop the chives into tiny, fine pieces. Why mince them so finely? Because later, they'll need to be carefully stuffed inside the eggplant slices. With every gentle stroke of the knife, it feels like I'm not just chopping chives. I'm infusing the dish with the deep, quiet patience that a homemaker gathers through the years. Let's wash a basin to hold our chopped chives, and use the knife to scoop them right in. Up next, it's time for the eggplants. First, we'll trim off the stems. Taking a closer look, if there are any little scars left behind from when they were growing, I just slice them away. We human beings get scars as we grow up, and eggplants do too. But that doesn't stop them from becoming a delicious dish. Slicing the eggplant is where the real finesse comes in. For the first cut, you have to steady your hand and stop just short of the bottom. Then, with the second cut, you slice it all the way through. Just like that, the eggplant is cut into beautiful pockets, with a natural slot in the middle, perfect for packing in our chive stuffing. The last piece can be a bit tricky to cut, but no worries, we can just lay it flat and butterfly it horizontally with a knife. Next, I need to mix up a simple batter. Coating the eggplants in batter creates a protective shell when they hit the pan. It keeps the outside incredibly crispy, while the inside stays tender and juicy. We'll add a pinch of salt and a splash of soy sauce to it. That's the secret to making it savory and delicious. Coating the eggplants in this seasoned batter creates a protective shell when they hit the pan. It keeps the outside incredibly crispy and flavorful, while the inside stays tender and juicy. Oh, silly me, I almost forgot. We need to toss some cooking oil into the chives first to lock in the moisture. and then add a pinch of salt. Stir it all together in one direction. Let's sweep away the discarded leaves we just trimmed, prep the table, and start stuffing our eggplants. See this table corner right here? My husband's father actually designed it himself. It keeps the wood from warping due to moisture, which effectively prevents the table from wobbling. Alright, let's bring everything over and start stuffing. Grab a slice of eggplant, gently pry open the 2 layers, and stuff it full with our chive filling. Seeing the empty eggplants get packed so generously, it honestly makes my heart feel just as full. Time to bring out the pan, give it a good rinse, and plug it in. Pouring in some pure local peanut oil. I give the pan a gentle swirl so the oil coats every single corner. Next, take a stuffed eggplant slice and give it a gentle dip in the batter, making sure it's completely cloaked in a beautiful white coat before carefully nestling it into the pan. As the heat rises, the pan fills up quickly. Amidst the satisfying sizzle of the oil, the aroma instantly fills the room. You can see the bottom of the eggplants turning from pale white to a gorgeous, tempting golden brown. Once the bottom crust sets, I gently slide the spatula along the edges of each slice and flip them over. After both sides are set, you still need to be patient. Flip them a few more times to make sure the heat penetrates all the way through, perfectly cooking the chive filling inside. While waiting my husband's mother, my mother-in-law comes back home. Although she's getting up there in years and her legs aren't as strong as they used to be, making her walk a little unsteady, she just can't bring herself to sit idle. Every single day, she loves to wander out to the vegetable patches, doing whatever little things she can. Watching her walk away, I often think to myself, the older generation seems to be exactly like this. As long as they can move, they never want to be a burden to their children. They always want to contribute whatever warmth they have left. This kind of diligence, it's truly hardwired into their very bones. Unplugging the pan, I get the plates ready and scoop out the golden, crispy eggplants one by one. Wiping the sweat from my brow and looking at the fruits of my labor, it honestly brings a sweet smile to my heart. To keep them from going soft and losing that perfect crunch, I purposely didn't overlap them completely. I grabbed some homemade flatbreads I baked earlier from the fridge. Then, holding this plate of steaming hot eggplants, I start up the car and head over to my own mother's house. I want her to taste this comforting warmth the very second it comes out of the pan. Our homes aren't actually that far apart. But at my age, with all the heavy daily chores, walking just isn't realistic. It's about a 5-minute drive. Along the way, the road stretches out wide and the trees on both sides fly past, just like the years that slip through our fingers. But no matter how fast time flies, at the very end of this road, there is someone who will always be my anchor. Soon, my mother's village comes into view. The houses here are neatly scattered, built with the red tiles and brick walls typical of northern China. They look sturdy, grounded, and deeply welcoming. This place looks almost exactly the same as it did when I was a child. Hardly anything has changed. Sometimes, standing at the entrance of the village, I'll have this flash of illusion, as if I'm still that little girl with a ponytail, running wild on the dirt roads. What has changed is that the muddy paths of the past are now paved wide and smooth. But what remains unchanged is the deep sense of belonging this land always gives me. Pushing open the front gate, it lets out a familiar, rusty creak. Right by the door, there's a piece of rope tied in plain sight. My brother tied it there so our blind mother wouldn't be trapped inside the house. Hearing the noise in the courtyard and my approaching footsteps, my mother immediately feels her way up and sits up on the heated brick bed. The moment she speaks, there are no pleasantries, just a flood of gentle complaints. She tells me not to go through all this trouble. She knows the food I bring is delicious, but she keeps saying it's too much work and too exhausting. She insists I don't need to drive over every day, saying she can just get by on leftovers. Hearing this, tears well up in my eyes. Parents are always like this. Even when they are enveloped in darkness and find it hard to move, their minds and words are only ever filled with one thought. They never want to be a burden, and they always think their children are working too hard. Because of her blindness, my mother's world is completely pitch black. Her mobility is highly limited. Even something as simple as pouring a cup of water, which we do without a second thought, is a difficult struggle for her to manage by touch. I quickly pour a bowl of warm water and place it gently into her hands. As she takes it, she keeps on murmuring and nagging, telling me to drive safely and reminding me to take care of my own little family. Wherever my mother is, that's where I'll always be a child. As long as she is here, this 5-minute drive is a journey I am more than willing to make day after day.